Hey, this is Jessica, and this video is going to be the story of my guinea pigs. And, of course, since I'm sitting near the cage, they think they're getting something. I don't think it helps that I reinforce it and do end up giving them something. Really, I just do it to shut them up, but... Daisy, do you have... looks like a fur under her chin was colored. You've got lettuce color underneath your chin stain. I'm just going to give them one veggie treat each. Here, you can go first. Trixie. I gotta do this fast before they start fighting over it. Hey. Abby, you're so silly. Just dropped her treat. She has one. Daisy. There. So yeah, this is just gonna be the story of my guinea pigs, which I think I've kind of stated in a few of my videos, but not like all in one video. These are not my first guinea pigs. I had one guinea pig when I was about 9. I don't even know how old I was. I'm thinking 9, 10. Her name was Cinnamon, and she was an Abyssinian. I think she was like she was more like Daisy and Lily. So she was like an Abbey Peruvian mixed. And she was brown and she had white on her, and I think she had like a reddish on her. I think that's why I named her Cinnamon. She had a mixture of colors. Okay, so just trying to think. When I was 9, it would have been like 1996. So needless to say, we didn't really take care of her the proper way. She was in like this tiny store-bought cage. Like probably the size of this bin, to be honest with you, which is what my hamster is in. Obviously it was taller than the bin, but probably around like the dimensions and stuff. She was by herself. I don't even think we gave her hay. I don't remember having hay in the house. I remember her being on pellets though, like a plain pellet. So that's good, I guess. And I remember giving her the occasional veggies, but that's about it. I don't remember much. Like all we had was we bought one of those like guinea pig handbooks that you could buy at the pet store, like when you got your pet. And I'm sure it had all the wrong information in it. At least it thought, well, for then it probably thought it had the right information. So apparently my father had a guinea pig when he was a kid, because he just found that out like a couple weeks ago, which is kind of odd. I was like, really, you had a guinea pig? I was like, so, okay. It's just funny because it's his mother, my grandmother, that bought me my guinea pig. So I don't know. Whatever, she must have liked them also. She was really cute. I remember Cinnamon being really cute because I got her when she was like a baby. So, of course, I like picked her up right away, even though I remember the store people like, don't pick her up like right away, let her get used to her surroundings. I remember waiting like maybe one day and then like picking her up the next day and having her like on my shoulder, cuddling. And then, of course, after time went by, I was young, and I got kind of just, bored of having a pet. And I remember we ended up with a new puppy that my same grandmother brought us, because we were losing our older dog at the time. She was sick, she had cancer. So we ended up getting a puppy. So, of course, ooh, puppy! So, I ended up giving Cinnamon away to my friend. And then I honestly don't know how long he had her for. I really don't know what happened after that. I was a kid and I never, asked about her. So, I just put in these 2 Timothy twists into the cage. Do I need to put 4 in? Can you guys not share? I only put 2 in. There's one there and there's one over there that Daisy's chewing on. So yeah, and then a couple of years ago, after I got my first hamster, I was kind of like, I want a guinea pig. And that's when my fiance, Pat, was like, I could have got you a guinea pig. Why did you get a hamster? And I'm like, well, I like my hamster. I wanted I wanted something small, okay? And I never had a hamster before, so that's why I wanted hamsters. Because I knew a guinea pig would, need a bigger cage and whatnot. And at this point, I was already starting to be on YouTube. Just viewing other people's YouTube pages, videos about their guinea pigs, which is when I found, the wonderful world of these huge CNC cages. You know, I was watching all these videos of these kids. You know, I call them kids. Sorry that you're right. They're probably watching my video. To me, you are a kid. If you're 15, you're still you're a kid. You know, because I'm gonna be 29 next week. So, and I was like, wow, like they have these huge cages. You know, I'm like, so that interested me just because of the huge cages and everything. I thought that it was really neat how these people had these huge cages and had like these herds of guinea pigs, because they had more than one, and I was only used to having the one. And then like the whole hay thing, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, you know, how come mine didn't have hay? Like, how, you know, and I wouldn't really blame myself because I was just a child, but I was more of a like, you know, how come my parents didn't find this out for me, since they're the one that agreed to also have the pet? I guess it's not their fault either. But it's just goes to tell you how much, you know, the people at pet stores know about their pets. They just kind of sell them off and whatever. Happens. Lily! She's the one that if I call her name, I swear she knows it, because she will get down from what she's doing. So yeah, so can't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, YouTube videos. So I started watching a lot of videos on, like I had hamsters, I was making videos on my hamsters, but I was always watching videos of guinea pigs, and like other people's cages, and their guinea pigs, and their herds, and you know, there's those people who've had their channels up with their guinea pigs for like a few years now. They're probably the first ones that I've seen. So I wanted guinea pigs, and then I ended up with hamsters. I got more hamsters. I had some other animals. We lost some hamsters, and I was finally like, no, you know, I want to get like 2 girls. Actually, at first I was just like, I just want to get 2 guinea pigs, because I knew I had to have more than one. And then I researched more into like boys and found out I've like more information about grease glands and like their anal sacs need to be clean, and I was like, I don't think I want boys. You know, just because of that. I know they're sweet. I know boys are sweet and whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna get girls. But I didn't want to buy them from like a pet store, even though that's hard not to do where I live, because I don't live in like the city, and a lot of people, even who send me messages on my YouTube, who give me like, oh, why don't you just, you know, go here and get this and go here and get that. I can't. Like, you don't understand. This town is very small. I have a Pet Value, and that's it. I have a Pet Value and a local pet store, which occasionally you'll hear us saying Rick's. That's what it's called. It's called Rick's Pet Store. That's all we have in this town. Pet Value and Rick's. And Pet Value does not sell animals. They help out the local SPCA with adopting out animals occasionally, but they don't usually have guinea pigs. Even though yesterday or a couple days ago I was there and they had like 4 guinea pigs. I was like, really? You have 4 guinea pigs? Not when I was looking for guinea pigs, they had none. And they were like, oh, do you have guinea pigs? I'm like, yeah, I have 4. They're like, oh, we have some. I'm like, yeah, I can't get any more. I have 4. Don't have room for more. Because they were all females too, all 4 of them. And they had a really long, nice, long-haired one that even Pat kind of liked. But anyways, getting away from my story again, like always. I wanted 2 guinea pigs, and so I was checking out Kijiji ads, which Kijiji is a classified. It's kind of like, it's basically the same thing as the Craigslist in the States. I think there is a Canadian Craigslist, but it doesn't. It's only good for like the major cities. So if I lived in Ottawa still, it would be good. For, you know, I think there's a Craigslist for Ottawa, not for smaller towns. While Kijiji covers like everywhere in Canada. So I was checking on Kijiji, and we checked a while, and there's a couple of guinea pigs. There was one that my boyfriend wanted really bad, well, fiance, whatever, Pat wanted really badly. But it was a boy, and his name was Buddy, and he was alone, and I was like, I don't want 1 pig, I need to get 2. Preferably 2 that have already known each other. So that didn't end up happening, and then finally there was an ad without a picture for, where are they? These 2. Trixie and Abby. But there was no picture, like I said, so I sent the lady an email and was like, do you have a picture? And she was like, no, you have to come see them. And I was like, I don't want to just come see them. You better give me like a description at least, you know? So she described them, and then she gave me this really like poor quality picture of them, which I wish I kept, because I would have just showed you the picture. And they were, yeah, we're talking about you. Your nails, I gotta cut your nails. And she had 2 kids, and these were her kids' pets, but the kids had, after, I think, a few months, you know, same old story, hasn't been paying attention to them. So she was rehoming them, but with, like, nothing, because her cage that she had was apparently not hers, she said. That's what she kept telling me. It wasn't her cage. So I was like, whatever, I don't want it, because I had already ordered my 2x5 CNC cage, which is this part of the cage. And it was kind of like, not a hutch. Do you know those big cages that are on like wheels that they sell at pet stores? It was like one of those. So it was like maybe the size of this 2x3. Maybe the size and length, but not width. And it had like a second level, which didn't have a ramp, so that was useless. And they had no hay, and they had this really crappy pelleted, like mixed seeded guinea pig food, because they gave me that. They ended up giving me that, and then they were going to give me one of their homes, which was like a plastic home, kind of like that, but not as nice as my old plastic homes that I had. So I didn't take that. I took the food just because I didn't want to insult them and be like, no, your food is crap. But I took the food, but when we got home with Trixie and Abby, I immediately threw it out. Yeah, this was all during Christmas too, because I was looking for them during Christmas. I had ordered the cage beginning of December, received the cage before Christmas, and then Boxing Day is when me and Pat picked up Trixie and Abby. What's funny is I didn't even ask what their names were beforehand, because what happened was the woman was working when I picked them up, so it's just the husband that I met. So I didn't ask him much. I just kind of took the pigs and was gone. I think we gave him $30 as an offer, just because she kind of wanted to give her kids money back, because they were her. I guess her kids spent the money. I guess they probably used their allowance or whatever for the guinea pigs. So whatever. And so yeah, I have a video which I will link if you want. That's my first day with Trixie and Abby, like bringing them home. I have it on camera of them coming out of the. We just brought my cat carrier because we didn't really have much else to bring. And their first reactions to their big CNC cage, 2x5. You guys are looking awfully cute together. This is how Trixie sleeps all the time. She usually does it over there where I can't see her, and I think she's not in the cage. It's like, how would she get out? But she'll sleep like that in there, and from this angle you can't see anything. It's cute. And then these guys are pigging out. Stop. Eat from where you're supposed to eat from. So yeah, on Boxing Day, I got Trixie and Abby, and named them immediately. Funny enough, I named Abby first, just because I had a hamster that I named Abby, but the hamster ended up being a boy, so I had to change his name. And I liked the name Abby, and then Trixie just came to me. So then we had Trixie and Abby. We had you for a few months, right? A few months? Without having another pig? Yeah, so my cage was a 2x5, which was plenty big for 2 pigs, with a 2x2 loft. The loft would have been this big. And it had the ramp, and they never went up the ramp, ever. I used to have to put them up onto, like, have to pick them up and put them on top. They would run down the ramp, but they would never go up on their own. So I kind of felt like that was a waste. Except it was good for when I did cleanings. I would put them up there and use it. So, and then one day we were at the local pet store, not Pet Value, we were at Rick's, and they do get the occasional guinea pig, they have the occasional bunny, and whatever, and it's pretty awful because what they keep their animals in is these tiny, like aquariums, like they have on their wall, like you would see for fish. They have like some for like their live animals. It's which would be okay for like a hamster, but not a guinea pig. And even when they have hamsters, they have too many in one, especially since they're usually Syrians. And we were walking by, and we saw Daisy, but she was a baby, like the youngest I've ever seen a guinea pig. She was so small. She was like, I can't really show you with my hand, but she was tiny. Like she only looked like a month old, and that's what a lot of people, I showed like pictures and video of, and a lot of people were like, yeah, she only looks to be like a month. About a month. She was really young. Her hair was really short too, so you can really tell what she was going to grow into. Was she going to be a long-haired? Was she just going to be like an Abby? So, and what happened was when Pat walked by, she winked at him. she was like, week, week. And that's when he was like, I want her. And I was like, oh. I was like, you sucker. I was like, you just fell for that. I was like, you know, that cute little baby weekend for you. And of course I liked her because it's a baby guinea pig. And we got one of the workers there because we're there, like, we used to go to that store. We still do go to the store, like, a lot. We went more when we had more fish than we do now. That's where we got all our fish from, so they, like, know us and stuff, and we talked to them. So they took Daisy out, but they didn't know if it was a boy or girl, because I guess they don't get told anything when they bring them in, I don't know. So I kind of checked quickly. At first I thought it was a boy, so I was like, well, what are we going to do? I have girls. And Pat was like, I don't care, I'm buying her, because he's very like that. And if he sees something, he wants something, and he has the money for it, he'll just go and buy it. So we bought Daisy, and she was $50. I don't know why pet stores charge so much. So we bought Daisy, brought her home, and she was so small. She was so, okay, this is what, she was so small that the video I have, if you want to go find it, or I'll put a link to it, she fit through here. Like her whole body, not her head. You know how people say baby proof because their heads might get stuck? No, she was about to run out of one of these squares. That's how small she was. So we had her on the loft because we didn't know her sex yet. And since she was so small, a 2x2 doesn't seem to be cruel. Like, it's not tiny. She loved it, actually. She loved it from what she was in. All she would do was popcorn. And she hardly was able to jump up into her litter box that I had for her because I had hay for her. Like, I didn't have a hay bag for her because I knew she'd get lost in it because she's so small. I just had hay dumped into the litter box. She loved it. She went straight to the hay, at least. So she started eating hay right away. She's popcorning right now. She's the popcorn queen, her and Lily, but they don't do it as much now. They did it more when they were on top, just with each other. And I think it's because they were also just getting older. Like Trixie and Abby I don't see them do it anymore. But when she was a baby, when she was on top in the loft, she always popped her, and she was so happy. And then eventually I got her vegetables. I had to train her to eat vegetables because she wouldn't eat them. And then about a week after we got Daisy, they had another guinea pig, which was Lily. And she was really small too, and small and brown. You can picture her, you know, way smaller than she is now, but her hair was kind of shorter. And she was so adorable. I actually find Lily cuter than Daisy, personally. Especially when she was small. And I was like, oh, I want that one. But I was like, no, we just got 3, you know. Can't have her. And then, like, every time we went back to Rick's, she'd still be there. And I was like, no one's buying her? I was like, why is nobody buying her? I don't know. And I don't know, I'm calling it a her, but I didn't know the sex. I'm just calling it a her. Because I know now. And then eventually, I think it was a month. I think we had Daisy for a month, alone on top. I finally, like, caved, and Pat kind of caved because he knew I kind of wanted her. And Pat was like, you should hold her, because he knew the second I held her that I'd be like, hey, I have to have her. So he went to the pet store, and he got the employee to take Lily out, and I held her. And then she climbed up on my shoulder, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, we're getting her. And then we asked them about the 2 pigs, because I was like, could they actually be real life siblings, from the same litter? Since we bought Daisy, and immediately after Daisy, their next animal that they bought in was her. And they're like, yeah, it's possible. They were like, yeah, it's pretty possible that they're probably from the same litter. So that was kind of cool that they probably are sisters. By this point, I had already found out that she was a girl, with help from people from the forum. And just because the longer you wait, the more you can, the bigger they get, the easier it is to sex them. So by that point, and I sexed Lily myself, and I was pretty sure she was a female. Which she was, so that was good. So that's how I ended up with 4, now no more. And also, when we introduced Lily to Daisy, they immediately liked each other. Immediately. So that's another reason why even me and Pat were like, they probably are sisters or something. Like, something's there. They just immediately, just started popcorning around each other when they met. And because we made them meet, on floor. I didn't just dump Lily in the cage. They were on the floor, just because I wanted to see what would happen. But they just immediately accepted each other, so that was great. I was more worried about introducing these 2 to my older ones, which we did once on the floor, and Abby was kind of mean to them, but not too much. Trixie didn't seem to care that much. And then when I changed the cage around to make it this huge thing, I just kind of dumped the babies in. To be honest, I didn't even like do a full clean of the cage. It was like a partial clean. So the girls, it could have been a fight because they were scent. The girls, Abby's and Trixie's scent would have been still in there a lot. So I didn't exactly follow like the rules, but they're also not boys. But everything went well. There's a few squeaks that I hear here and there, but I think that's just one of them bullying the other one out of a home. Since these homes don't have like 2 exits, they only have the 1 entrance. You know, it's usually about this tent. I think they all like this tent so much that they all want to be in it. And Abby's usually like, nope, it's mine. So you'll usually hear like a squeak and one of them running, and you're like, okay. But there's never any marks on them. So yeah, that is my guinea pig story, and I didn't expect this to take, like, I knew this was going to be a long video, but I think it was going to be 20 minutes. Sorry about that. And that was about it. I don't know what's going on with Abby's hair. She's losing hair. I don't know what's wrong. I treated them for mites a week ago. I just didn't tell anyone. So it's not that, because they've had their double dosage now. I know Lily likes to chew on hair, but I doubt that's Lily's doing. I don't know. I haven't seen her do it in a while. So actually, it looks like it's getting better. So if it was mites, I've cleared it up. And I treated all 4 of them, of course. I won't get into exactly how I treated them and whatnot, because I don't want other people just thinking they can just do it themselves also. Because it's highly deadly if you overdose. With the, because I used ivermectin. And it's you could definitely easily kill them, your pigs, if you overdose. It's just weird. I want to see your weird spotches. You're probably going to have to end up going to a vet now, aren't you? We'll see. She acts fine, that's all that matters to me. What is it with you in the top hay? The top hay is not the best hay. This is why I like pushing it down. Just so it's easier for them to get out of the holes. So yeah, that's my guinea pig story and how I ended up with 4. If you have any questions about my pigs or anything else, my cage, you can go ahead and ask. My pigs do have a Facebook page that you can like. I usually have pictures and stuff go there first. I even link all my YouTube videos there. But like, I'll take pictures and post it there and then make a video. She could be just herself chewing on her hair, I don't know. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.